What's happening, guys? Safety Liner C2 here. So, with the release of this video, we have the 3rd Gen CE coming out just a few days, and I figured we better ask the resident IC fan what the opinions are of, the 3rd Gen CE. So, of course, we had to bring Noah on. And we're gonna talk with him about that today. Let me make this clear. This video is being released before the 3rd Gen CE is officially announced. So any opinions that either of us give are just based off of the prototype pictures that we've seen or the rumors that we hear or whatever. So just throwing that out there. So Noah, I think you've made it pretty clear that you
What?
You don't like the 3rd Gen CE. Yeah, so first question, why?
It looks... Well, first of all, I would like to walk back to the international product line itself with these new looks and the MV, because obviously that's what the CE is based off of now.
Right.
It looks like an internationalized Freightliner to me, and it just doesn't have that distinct international look to me anymore. It looks like they just took a M2 or a C2 and modified it with international-esque lines and shapes, and then just stuck an IC badge or an international emblem on it, and they're calling it a day. So that's my big thing, is it looks awful.
Well, I was gonna say there was a quote you gave me for a previous video I did on the 3rd Gen CE, like a year and a half ago. You said that you think the front end looks f***ing stupid. Do you still stand by that?
I do still stand by that. And that's coming from me, of all people. That is coming from me. So, absolutely, I do stand by what I said.
What can IC do? When the bus gets released, is there something that could change your mind as to, oh, I actually am okay with this?
Walk it back. Take it out of production. Bring back the 1st gen. No, I'm kidding. Don't ever bring back the 1st gen. It is fine how it was. Let's not ruin it with anything. Redesign it. Make it look like an international. And, something else they could do to make things better is bring back the RE. That is a whole nother subject that I could talk on about, but that's not what we're talking about right now. So yeah, that's what they could do. I would be fine waiting another 5 years if that meant something that actually looked international.
I've thought since that was released, I think I like the 2nd gen better than the 3rd gen right now, and I think that the 3rd gen will grow onto me as it starts going more and more into production, because I'm kind of smack in the middle. But I think that the move should have been from the 3800 or 1st gen chassis to the MV and then to the 2nd gen, just because I feel like that looks like a better progression.
Oh, you mean like putting the new look
like
in
on
like 1st and 2nd?
Yeah, so the 3rd gen would be the 2nd gen and the 2nd would be the 3rd. I feel like is a more I don't know.
That's an interesting, we'll say, bus of thought.
So, where do you rank all the CEs then?
Okay, so obviously for me, it's always the 1st gen first, because it looks the best out of any of the CEs I've ever seen.
Right.
And then the 2nd gen. The 3rd gen, well, there's not a 3rd gen diecast model for me to pick up and show, but as of right now, as of the filming of this video, the 3rd gen means nothing to me, and I think that it could just go, this is hard coming up with something off the top of my head, but it can just, let me just put it to you like this. Me, Noah Trimbach, IC bus fan, enthusiast, everything, would take a Thomas Safety Liner C2 over the 3rd gen CE.
That was going to be my next question. So, out of the company, the Vision, the C2, 3rd Gen CE, where do we rank those? This should be even better.
So, This may change when we actually see them, but I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath on it. As much as it pains me to say, based off the information I have heard and the pictures I have seen, I would rather have a C2. Because at least a C2, you know what, like, a C2 is its own weird looking thing, and it's been like that for 20 years. But a CE has had a pretty conventional classic school bus look to it, and now it feels like they're taking that in the direction of a C2. I mean, not like completely, but with the small little things with how it looks. And I don't know. I don't like how it's looking, but I would probably do a C2 and then maybe a CE, because I really never have cared for Visions, and I think the fact that they took the roof caps to looking like an IC is really like they're trying too hard to be something that they're not. And I've just have not heard about good things about Bluebird in the last like 5-6 years. So I would hope this third gen CE is still better than whatever Bluebird is turning out.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you on that. Maybe if we had Visions from, 10 years ago, maybe put that in second, but we don't.
Yeah.
The picture of the body, we haven't really seen too much of the actual bus itself other than the front, and we got that one kind of angled shot of it. We know the front is going to be different. We know the body appears to be maybe 95% the same, maybe, minor changes on how they build it, this, that, whatever. Do you think we're going to get any other changes on something we haven't seen yet?
I don't know. I'm hoping that the rear end is different, because if they go through all of this and the rear end is like exactly the same, I think that's going to be really stupid. Like, I had a conversation with Adam about it where he was saying maybe they had to change the front of the bus for the chassis to fit, which I mean makes a good point. Let's just say the chassis has nothing to do, like they didn't have to change the body for the chassis, and we're just redesigning the body for whatever. Why would you sit there and put all that redesign effort in the front end, the doorway, the interior, like the driver's area, and then just not do anything with the back? Like, why would you do that? So I'm hoping there's some kind of change. And the other thing is if you're going to take the time to redesign the front roof cap, you should at least carry that over to the back, because there's nothing worse than mixed matched roof caps, in my opinion. So I'm hoping that the back end has something different on it.
Yeah, I was thinking that they were definitely going to redo the back because of the roof cap, because I can't see them sticking with the current second gen CE back, but the third gen front roof cap, because that would just look too weird to me. I don't want to say this as a C2 person, but I know it's true, and I'm going to say it. The second gen CE is the most popular Type C in the country. I assume you would agree with that.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah. I have, been all across the country, and that is the bus that is the bus that is everywhere, and it just pops up everywhere. Is that going to stay the same with the third gen?
I don't know. And let me just say I'm concerned, because I've heard things about there just being two different types of dashes and all this other stuff that I just don't know how it's going to go, and I don't know how it looks, obviously, in its entirety. So, like, hearing that and seeing those things makes me wonder, because, like, the dash of the second gen, while it is almost a 20-year-old design, I mean, it works, it's good. And that's my, like, the bigger picture here is you hear people saying, oh, the CE design is like 20 years old, blah, 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 blah. Well, let's take a look back and look at, buses of like 60s, well, not really the 60s, but the 70s, 80s, 90s. A lot of those designs stayed the same for 30 years. And why do something so drastic if what you have is working and you can add to it? The early second gens probably have things that the newer second gens don't, where they've learned where something doesn't work or something does work, and so they add it in. So, like, adding small changes to it over whatever period of time seems fine. To me, I really don't think that drastic of a redesign is necessary. I guess we'll see. I don't know.
I can't come up with a segue for this, so just talk about the door.
there has been talk, and it's not like it's not a fit. I mean, IC hasn't come out and said it, but like everything we're hearing and seeing is indicating that the doorway is going to be 4 inches smaller, which to me is absolutely stupid, because here you've had the widest doorway in the industry since at least 1996, and you're going to shorten it for 4 inches for what? Like in that picture that we've seen on Google Maps from the plant where you can see that bus, you can kind of see where this part here is a little bit bigger, like where the metal would be. And it's like, why change it by 4 inches? Like, I don't get it. I think it's stupid. And maybe seeing it will change my mind, but I just feel like having the widest doorway in the industry was one of those selling points. And it just makes you wonder, what else have they cut that was a selling point that is going to affect them? Because I mean, they've already discontinued the RE, and as much as I hate to say this as an IC person, the CE second gen, third gen, whatever, is not a good enough bus to make an all transit district switch to conventional. So I just feel like they're making some risky choices here, but I just don't get it. Why get rid of something that was a selling point of your bus? That's my outlook on the door.
I heard, if I'm not mistaken, that it was because of the chassis design. I could be wrong on that, but I still think 4 inches is like...
It's nothing.
Yeah, it's not like...
What's the point of 4 inches?
I don't know,
the
but
doorway.
I still think that that's going to give them the biggest doorway.
I mean, it still will be the biggest, but it just, to me, doesn't make any sense. And if it is the chassis, I would like to be shown why. Like, why is the chassis causing these 4 inches, which really isn't that big of a difference, but still, like, why? Like, I would like to be shown a diagram on that.
Yeah, and I think the other part is that because the only picture we have of the door is just 500 feet away or whatever.
Yeah.
I think maybe once we actually get the up-close picture here in a couple days, then it might make more sense. Okay, so last question. 3rd Gen CE. When's the model for it coming out? Is there a model coming out? Like, will there ever be? How long do you think it'll take?
My hope is that it will come out when the bus comes out, or within a few weeks of that. I have heard things that would lead me to believe that there is a model. I don't really know, so I guess we'll see. But my hope is that the model comes out relatively quickly, and that maybe with the release of this new bus, not only the model, but maybe other IC branded stuff that they don't have on there now will be released. Because I've also heard talk of there being a new badge, which it makes me wonder if they're going to go to this style badge. But, if that's the case and there is a new logo, then there's going to be, I would hope, new merchandise with the new logo. I guess we'll see.
Okay, you know what? No, one more question. It has taken 20 years for the 3rd gen to come out. From the release of the 3rd gen to the 4th gen, how long do you think that'll take?
That's a good question. Let me say this. I hope it's not 20 years, because I don't know if I can take 20 years of that design. My hope is that a 4th gen would look a little bit better than that. I mean, at this point, I'm just going to have to go get a job at Navistar, because this is just ridiculous. It is getting out of hand. If you're somehow seeing this, get in touch, because I know you can do better.
Yeah, I see. If you're watching the Safety Liner C2 channel, reach out. I'll get you in contact with him. All right, so that's about it. That's our little conversation with the resident IC fan. Noah, do you want to, shout yourself out or whatever, as if these people don't know you?
Real quick here, I got these nifty little stickers. You should, if you're cool, you should try to get yourself one. But yeah, go check out my channel. You might be wondering, Noah, where's your video on the 3rd Gen CE? Because Cameron's done like 3 or 4 and whatever. I'm not going to be doing one until the bus is actually released, because I feel like a video of me talking about it beforehand would just be me talking about it for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And I just don't feel like that's relevant. So I want to see it and form a little bit better of an opinion, hopefully. And obviously, I want to get a tour of it. So that's, if you were wondering, that's why I have not made any official video on the third gen. Because at this point, everything's speculation. And, you know, I feel pretty deep about my opinions about it right now, but that could change. I don't think it will, but we'll see.
And that's exactly why this video exists, so that we can see the progression from hate it to love it, or hate it to hate it. Yeah.
Or hate it to I'm now a Thomas person.
Safety liner C3, like,
yeah,
perfect.
Oh my God. Club Tommy.
I felt like that. I don't remember exactly how you phrased it, but like you say, I feel like a video of me talking about the third gen CE would just be me talking and wouldn't really be relevant. It's just all this video is. Alright, so huge thanks to Noah for coming on, doing this. You know, gotta do this every now and then. Gotta collab here and there. And we'll definitely have to check in with Noah at some point down the road. See what his thoughts are on the third gen CE. Definitely go and check out his channel for other bus content. So with that, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe right down here. It's a magical white button that says you are now subscribed to Safety Liner C2. Make sure you comment up here, down here, over here, or over here. I don't know where they put it, I don't care where they put it. Make sure you also give this video a thumbs up, or the 4th gen CE is going to look even worse than the 3rd gen. And make sure you also share this video with a friend. Show it to your mom, show it to your dad, show it to a guy on a random street. I don't care, don't let anything happen to you. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching.